Hello, everyone. Today we are going to focus on firms with market power, meaning firms that can influence price rather than just accept it. By the time we finish this discussion, you should have enough knowledge to first understand how a monopoly's demand relates to marginal revenue. Second, explain how firms decide price and quantity to maximize profit. Third, compare dominant firms and monopolistic competition. And finally, fourth, apply these concepts to real business decisions. Let's continue with our discussion. Here, let's start with the monopoly. A monopoly has one seller, no close substitutes, high barriers to entry, and it is not easy for new entrants to enter. Uh, Now, here is the key idea. For a monopoly, the firm is the market. The firm itself is the market. So, demand curve is equal to market demand. It is downward sloping. The one important concept you should remember: if a monopoly wants to sell more units, it must lower the price. This creates a very important relationship. Marginal revenue is always less than price. P. A marginal revenue we call MR. Why? Because when you lower the price, you gain revenue from selling one more unit. But you lose revenue on all previous units. So what happens? MR falls faster than demand. Here's one teaching example. Imagine you sell one unit for $10, say. To sell two more units, you drop price to $9. Now you gain $9 from the new unit, but you lose $1 on the first unit. So MR is less than price. This um, part is about profit maximization in monopoly. Now, let's answer the most important managerial question. How does a firm maximize profit? The rule is always, remember this very carefully, MR equal to MC. MR stands for marginal revenue and MC stands for marginal cost. So this is a rule of thumb. Just remember, MR is equal to MC. This is the condition for profit maximization. Okay, so here is the step by step process for this. First, you find output where MR is equal to MC. Second, you go up to the demand curve that gives you the price. So here is the key insight uh, into this. Monopoly produces less output, charges a high price. And if you compare that to perfect competition, consumers pay more, society loses efficiency, and the efficiency lost by society is called dead weight loss. Okay, so what is this to do with the managerial decisions? So managerial insight is that as a manager, you don't set price randomly. You use demand plus cost data to make decisions. Here is a powerful concept. Markup depends on elasticity of demand. If demand is inelastic, higher price markup. If a demand is elastic, then lower markup. Okay, so let me tell you the real world example. Um, think of life saving drugs. Okay, so demand for life saving drugs is inelastic. That means high prices. How about fast food? Fast food demand is elastic. That means competitive pricing. Next topic is about dominant firm strategy. So now let's move talk about this. A dominant firm. What is a dominant firm? This is a large firm that has many small competitors. Okay, how it works? Small firms are price takers, and a dominant firm is price maker. So the dominant firm acts like a monopoly on residual demand. For example, think of OPEC in oil markets. Also, large tech firms in niche segments. All right, so now what is the monopolistic competition? Let's look at a more common real world market. So, what are the characteristics of monopolistic competition? Um, First, there are many firms. Second, there are differentiated products. And third, no major barriers to entry. Okay. So the key insights include that each firm has some pricing power, and each firm faces downward sloping demand. So what does it mean? MR is less than price. So marginal revenue is less than price, just like same as monopoly. Okay. So how about short term? Short run versus long run. In short run, firms can earn profit. In long run, new firms enter, demand shifts down, and profit goes down to zero. For example, think of Starbucks versus local coffee shops, and also Nike versus Adidas. Think about these examples, how they are related to this. So, how does this all boils down to managerial decision making? Let's connect everything and synthesize. As a manager, your decisions depend on number one, market structure. Okay, so the, what it means is monopoly has strong control, and competition has limited control. Second is about price strategy. In price strategy, use MR equal to MC. That's the profit maximization condition. Consider elasticity for decision making. And last but not least, third one, long term planning. Think of entry of competitors, cost structure, innovation, right? Finally, we can conclude that there is no one pricing strategy. It depends on your market power. So, what have we learned today? Number one, Why MR is below demand in monopoly. Number two, how firms choose price and quantity. Number three, how dominant firms and monopolists for competition work. And finally, how managers apply these concepts. Now, think about one question. Can you think of a company that has strong pricing power and why? Thank you for your attention.